I think I need to admit to myself, I shouldn't have treated Geisha like that. He was just trying to count his Adzuki beans. That's probably what's kept him sane for the past decade and a half. I don't even know what I'm doing here. Feudal Japan has brought me nothing but loss, suffering, years upon years trapped in a prison cell with only rats to talk to. Goodness knows, those bring me back bad memories. Hold up. What's this? It's an old flip phone. What's this doing in feudal Japan? It's still got battery as well. There's no way. There's one person listed in the contacts. Unnamed. You know, let's try calling them. I mean, chances are it's probably not going to get any reception here in feudal Japan. There's no cell towers here, no... Wait. It's ringing. Hello?
Konnichiwa.
Wait, is this from someone here in feudal Nippon? Oh my gosh. I feel like I haven't been able to find another soul around here. My brother Geisha, I feel like I've really hurt his feelings. We used to be the closest brothers. We both fell from a spaceship in the sky and got stranded here. Two brothers lost to time.
No understand.
Yeah, you're right. I feel like we don't understand each other. I feel like we used to be two peas in a pod, two Adzuki beans in a pod. And
Adzuki beans.
yeah, I guess that's what broke the proverbial straw on the camel's back. I feel like I've lost the closest person to me, and I don't think there's anything I can do to rebuild that bond that was between us.
No. Wrong number.
Yeah, that's right. I made him start counting from the wrong number. I've messed him up so much. I feel like... I don't give him the credit that I should give a brother for keeping me steady all these years. Not just the years that we've been in feudal Japan, but doing this podcast. You know, I really couldn't ask for a better brother.
Brother?
Yeah. That's what we are. That's what we've been all our lives. It's the reason we're doing this podcast together. We've been brothers through thick and thin, through the high times and the low times. He's been there for me.
Sayonara.
Sayonara, goodbye?
Sayonara.
You're saying I should just leave it all behind? I should cut ties with him and run away from him, from the podcast? Maybe I should give it a second thought. You're right. It means I'd be stranded here. I could go off on my own, but where would that leave me? Brotherless? Familyless? Drinking whole bottles of sake just by myself?
Oh, sake.
Wait, you might be onto something. Maybe if I get some sake, we could share a drink with each other and talk over things. Maybe I can make this right again.
Sure. Sayonara.
Yeah, that's right. We can share a drink. We can say sayonara. We can say goodbye to all of these feelings that are coming between us. Maybe we just need a good chat, a good place and time to talk things over. Maybe we just need to communicate, me and him, just like the old times. Thank you, kind stranger. You've been more help to me than you'll ever know. Now I just need to find a good sake seller around here. Then we can catch up again, have a good drink together, and talk about the things that matter in life. Us brothers, Micah and Geisha, Podzilla. Welcome back to Podzilla, everyone. I'm Geisha Drake. And I'm Micah Drake. Hey, I just want to, top of the episode, me and Geisha have sorted things out between us.
Yeah, it's all sorted. Podzilla, back again. We're two brothers, if you haven't listened before. And over the past 4 years, we've watched Godzilla movies, Gamera movies, Daimajin movies, and this is it, the final Yokai Monsters movie. This is topping off season 4 of the show. We've been doing it for a long time now, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone. If you are tuning in for the first time for some reason, or if you've been with us.
What an episode, first off.
Yeah, welcome. All the great Yokai War Guardians fans coming out in force, showing up for this. But yeah, if you've been listening to us from the start 4 years ago, if you've joined us along the way, whether you've been like in our Discord community or not, it's just been so cool to have you guys along for the ride. And it's pretty cool to be covering the great Yokai War Guardians, which kind of connects Daimajin and Yokai Monsters together. They're both in this. It's a big plot of the movie is the Yokai Monsters needing to summon Daimajin. But not only that, this was distributed by Toho.
Hey.
Connecting back to our Godzilla roots. Not only that, but the previous movie to this mentions Gamera.
Yeah, so this is like tying up all the loose ends of really all the big franchises we've covered. Not only Toho, but pretty much all of Daiei's big kaiju and monster history.
This is our big finale, Micah.
This is our swan song.
Our swan song.
Podzilla's swan song.
This is it. This is it. But I mean, we did a Gamera kind of retrospective when we talked about Gamera in general, I think last month or a couple months ago now. I don't know if we're going to get the chance to do that for Daimajin and Yokai Monsters specifically. So I just want to ask you, Micah, how are you feeling now that we've finished
I'm feeling
off
good, thank you.
these more obscure Daiei movies, which even though you're feeling good, I don't know if you've been feeling good this whole time. You've been pretty negative across the board. Has there been any of these films that you've liked?
I've liked a couple of them.
You hate Daiei.
I don't hate Daiei. No. I feel like if you're looking at some of these franchises just on their own, a lot of the movies can tend to be quite weak, even though there is a lot to appreciate. Like first Yokai Monsters movie, I really did appreciate the whole tone of that movie and the ideas that they came forward with. Even like the whole idea of the 100 monsters ceremony that they had there and stepping into almost an anthology type of film for a little bit at least. That's really cool. That's a really fun idea for a movie. And I feel like now that we've been through Daimajin, I really, really love the second movie. The other movies are all right. It's almost embarrassing how much I love Daimajin canon.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably the most surprising thing to come of this little Daiei journey. Is that I actually really do like that series quite a bit. I feel like just tonally, since Daiei stuff has been a little bit all over the place, or more so that they very intentionally changed the tone of each movie, even the ones that have been in set series, it just has led to what I feel is quite a messy set of movies, at least one to watch back to back to back.
You're right, because in saying that we've done like the Daimajin trilogy and the Yokai Monsters trilogy and the newer Yokai Monsters stuff, they're trilogies, sure, but they are 100% standalone. We've just pretty much been back to back for the last few months, just watching standalone films set in feudal Japan with some of the same elements.
Yeah, I mean, even this movie that we're covering today, The Great Yokai War Guardians, it's like officially the sequel to The Great Yokai War that we covered last week, but there is very little plot-wise that connects it. It does feel like just another standalone movie. It's just Daiei. They just love their sequel standalones.
Yeah. Upon reflecting on all the ones we've watched and been talking about, I've loved it. Like, again, these are very obscure. A lot of people have not seen the Daimajin trilogy, and even fewer have watched the Yokai Monsters stuff. So it has been really, really cool, just from the perspective of going all in, watching these, covering them weekly. You guys, you listeners watching along with us, sending in your thoughts. It's been really, really cool. I think I have been pretty positive across the board.
You have, yeah.
I love the Daimajin trilogy. And I've been loving Yokai Monsters, specifically the Great Yokai War, which we did last week. Baby. Oh, baby. Mike, are you kidding me? The Great Yokai War?
Yeah, you classically have rated these movies just so much higher than me.
But I think it's pretty boring. I'm looking back at it now and I'm like, wow, these are just good movies. I haven't had like any hot takes. Maybe this is the episode.
Will it be? Will it be?
Maybe.
Do you have like a favorite of the bunch so far?
Spook Warfare was really, really good, but I think Along with Ghosts was the standout for me. The third Yokai Monsters movie, which was more of a like adventure buddy comedy almost.
Almost, yeah.
Quite funny, but then also had a lot of those spooky spiritual elements. That was a standout. And then, yeah, the second Daimajin movie as well. They've just been great across the board, and more so than with the Gamera series, which I thought had pretty poor special effects for a lot of it, definitely in the later stuff. That has been so great. Micah, you've probably never heard of it before, but Daiei's big blue screen.
Yeah,
You've probably
I'm
never
familiar.
heard of this. The big blue screen they got from the United States, Micah.
Yeah. What about it?
It looks great.
It does wonders.
Anytime they're doing compositing in any of these, anytime little umbrella boy pops up and he's being pulled by piano wires, it's so good.
I feel like it's their lucky charm at this point. If any of us ever get into the movie business, we need to make sure that like the big blue screen lives on.
Yeah. We should get it shipped over from Japan, track it down.
Yeah.
It's probably burnt in a warehouse fire, but we'll find it.
Classic.
I feel like a bit of a fraud, though, if I'm being honest.
How so?
Because I love movies. I love Godzilla. I think, like, I like kaiju movies. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest kaiju fan. I think we've discovered this as we've covered the show. Maybe this is the final episode of season 4. Can we just be real?
Jason's coming clean. He hates kaiju.
I hate kaiju, guys. It's been a chore No. I love that we've done this journey. I wouldn't say that like kaiju movies are my favorite genre or even like subgenre of films.
I get what you're saying, and we have talked about this at least personally before. Like you're a big movie fan in general, and I guess I'm just coming along for the ride.
And you coming out as not even liking movies, Mike.
I mean, I barely watch movies in my own time, to be fair. But the whole thing about this show is that it's not because we've been diehard fans of kaiju, which you'd probably expect of people who host a kaiju-based podcast. But it's been more so that this is something we've grown up with, and we've kind of been reaching out and holding on to those good old memories and threads to our childhood. Holding on to that story that started with Tadashi Kobayashi.
Tadashi Kobayashi, it all started with him. Yeah, and I mean, this has just been, again, I think I've said it before, but just like weekly, me and you making time to like sit down, even when our weeks are so crazy, and just watch something and record something together has been pretty special. So I think the experience, having our little Podzilla community is just like, it's so cool. Even if I'm not like the biggest kaiju fan, everything around it has made this experience so awesome. And you know what I am the biggest fan of? This is where I was going. Even though I'd probably just watch like a really good psychological thriller or a really good splatter horror movie more so than a kaiju flick, I love practical effects. I just love practical effects. It can be the most cheesiest, dumbest movie ever, and if they pull off something really cool practically or make a monster I've never seen before, I just fall head over heels for it. Which is why I've been like really vibing with these Daimajin and the Yokai Monsters stuff specifically. I don't know if we've talked about the practical effects as much as I would have liked to, but just throughout these, them having thousands at this point, and we'll go into it.
It literally is like thousands of different unique yokai, right?
Yeah, and they're pulling them off in different ways. Some are animated in these movies we watched. Some are pulled on puppets on wires. Some of them are costumes. Some of them are bigger like props. It's just crazy. So yeah, that's what I love. And even going back to Godzilla, like even though I'm not a huge fan of watching things destroy things for hours and hours, man, you give me a good Godzilla versus a cool looking guy in a costume, I'm all aboard.
I think one of the bigger reasons, kind of going off on that same tangent, that I've really loved this journey is I love stepping my foot into a new community. Like whenever you start a new show or series, or you know, whatever it is, a game, a comic book series, a new series of films. Like one of my favorite things is just after watching that and consuming it, being able to like go online and talk about it with other people, and being able to look at that series and be like, I have comprehensively experienced this in its entirety. And I feel like looking back on Godzilla, looking back on Yokai Monsters and Daimajin and Gamera, knowing that I'm like now a part of that community, that I've enjoyed pretty much all there is to enjoy about it. Not to say that I can't enjoy it even more, but like I've experienced that community, right? That's a cool feeling. I really, really enjoy that, especially with the Great Yokai War Guardians. We've done the Godzilla journey, but I feel like even the Gamera journey, we haven't really capped off until this movie. This is the combination of Daiei's journey.
Daiei, who is now Katakawa, who is now distributing through Toho. But yeah, you know, Daiei.
Took a couple of different paths to get there.
Yeah, but all that to say, I love that we've done this show week on week. I love that we've covered everything we've covered. I love that we've fallen in love with new things that aren't particularly things that we would have used to turn to, or things we used to really enjoy watching. I don't know.
Yeah, like Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. You know? Yeah.
Go listen to our recent Patreon episode, Kong on the Planet of the Apes.
Anyway, that's enough. We got to get into the Great Yokai War Guardians because this is a big movie.
Yeah.
This came out 2021. Directed again by Takashi Miike, Micah. Same director as the last one.
I didn't even realize it was the same director. That makes so much sense.
Yes. Yeah.
That brings up a lot of questions as well.
And even though you said there's not a lot of crossover or continuity, I'd like to tell you that there is. And we'll get into it. Some of it may surprise you. But do you have a synopsis for us?
I do indeed, Jasha.
Here we go. One last time.
One last time. Ancient fossils sleeping in Fossa Magna have gathered together and transformed into a giant yokai, a yokaiju. The destination is Tokyo, and only the yokai are aware of the truth about this invasion, which seems to modern humans to be a natural disaster. If nothing is done, the world will be destroyed. This can be stopped, however, by Kei Watanabe, a young kid who, after pulling a scroll that seemingly marks him as cursed from a deserted shrine, discovers a way to see into the yokai realm, quickly solidifying his place among his battle in the Great Yokai War Guardians.
The Great Yokai War Guardians? Where does the Guardians
Quickly
mean?
solidifying his place among his battle into the Great Yokai War.
Guardians. His part is Guardians?
Yeah. Or should I say, let me redo that.
Do him and his brother.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah.
What's his brother's name?
Die. It's going to be good.
Grammatically, that doesn't make sense.
I don't think it made sense before.
Kei discovers a way to see into the yokai realm, quickly solidifying his place, along with his brother, as the Great Yokai War.
Joining the Great Yokai War as Guardians.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da. That's close enough. I do like the new aspects to the plot that this movie adds to like the lore of the yokai universe, though. Specifically, like having the yokai as things that most people just can't see or experience, and then having the aspect of one kid stepping into their realm afresh.
Yeah, this is cool, and I do like how it, it's a sequel, and it does have some connective tissue, but it just starts us back at square one again. Two new kids, new century, decade, new decade, new decade. And we're once again just introduced to these monsters afresh. Some returning ones, some new ones. And I want to start off, get the monsters out of here. I don't want to talk about the Yokai Monsters or the Great Yokai War or maybe I do want to talk about the Guardians. Who are the Guardians? The two kids?
Kei and Dai Watanabe.
Kei and Dai. I want to talk about these kids because I think maybe in the history of Podzilla, the two greatest actors we've ever had.
I think definitely the greatest kid actors.
Yeah, totally.
Funnily enough, to be fair, on our journey, especially with Gamera and Godzilla, we've seen some fun kid actors.
Yeah, we have.
Some entertaining kid actors.
Shout out to Ichiro.
Yeah,
Shout out.
classic. But these two are like the most candid child actors I've seen.
And just really great, especially Kay. Throughout this film, and we'll talk about some of the moments a bit later, but there's times when he sees like a giant spider and he just lets out a scream of horror at it. And it like, oh, I thought this kid was really scared. And when he's crying over something and his tears, some of the lines he brings up later on, he's like acting. This kid's acting. This kid's a star. I've never seen someone act so hard.
You're a star, okay?
He's a star.
He is.
Kokoro Terada is his name. I'm going to be watching his career because he's pretty awesome.
He's going to be like the new Short Round.
Yeah.
The new, what's the actor's name?
The new Kihi Kwan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, give me a buddy cop movie with those two.
With those two. But yeah, it's cool as well just to have two brothers.
Man, what could be better, right?
Two brothers talking about two brothers right now.
The younger brother loving the older brother just dunking on him and hating him. It feels so relatable for some reason.
The movie starts and it's just your typical family dynamics, you know? Their single mother leaving for the day and them just completely owning on her, you know? They're just like, hey, we don't want curry. We want something better. And so she goes out of her way to get them beef. And then Kay's like, hey, I don't want to look after my stupid brother Die. And then she's like, no, you have to look after him. And the two kids twist her arm. She's super nice. And then what do they say? They're like, man, nurses sure are exploitable.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? I think nurses are pretty exploitable.
Look, I remember being in the watch party for this and seeing a little comment come up on the side that was like, absolutely, I exploit nurses every day.
Who said that?
I feel like it was you.
Yeah.
I exploit my brother every day. That's this podcast, guys.
It could be the subtitle for this podcast, Exploiting Micah.
I do love these two, though. Their dynamic is so great because Kay, he's set up to be initially this very, not shy, but very cowardly kid in the sense that he finds it quite hard to stand up for himself.
On the flip side, his brother Die.
He's much more like classically heroic, right?
He's classically heroic, but also definitely a bit younger. Like he's almost a bit too young to fully comprehend what's going on or
naive.
To be scared. Yeah, very naive, but very like brave in his own way.
Yeah.
Up for anything.
His whole thing is that during the whole first act of this movie, whenever he's around his brother, he genuinely, earnestly looks up to him and trusts him and does whatever he says, except for stopping copying him. But you know, I think it's pretty evident when Kay and his friends end up going to the abandoned shrine just for the kicks of it. And Kay's like, Die, you're too young to follow us. Stay here in this creepy forest. We'll be back in a little while. And he's like, okay.
Yeah, he's happy to stay. And then all hell breaks loose and yokai are popping up trying to take the kids away. But it's just a cool way to break up the movie as well, I feel, because those scrolls they were pulling from that haunted shrine, one of them, I think Kay drew a red scroll, a blood red scroll, and it meant he was the destined hero of all of Earth, really, saving Earth against the Yokaiju.
I just forgot about this until now, but it wasn't just the red scroll that showed that he was a hero. It was the fact that he lived in a house with no gables.
Yeah.
A gableless house.
A gableless house.
I feel like this is like you know how it's the term online if you're maidenless?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro, you're gableless.
They say it a lot in this movie. They're like, oh man, he doesn't have a gable. And then they actually have to like at one point bring up like a diagram of a house and be like, okay, the point in which your roof connects, the like centermost point there is the gable.
And this is the gable board.
Kei Watanabe's family's gable was destroyed years and years and years ago when an Oni attacked their house. So they are gableless, which means they are brave and will protect the world.
Because brave people don't need protection on their house.
No. If you've got a gable, you guys listening, if you've got a gable, if you've got an intact roof right now, cowards. Every single one of you.
You don't think you can defend your own household? Man.
Cowards. If your roof is looking nice, you're a coward. So if you want to change that right now, break your roof a little bit.
Become gableless.
Become gableless. But yeah, I liked this story. I mean, it was two kids whose ancestor was this heroic Oni hunter, the samurai, and they discover a little bit about him, and they need to try and follow in his footsteps to save the world. And the yokai are kind of not good nor evil in this, I would say, Micah. How do you feel about the yokai?
What do you mean not good or evil?
They're working on their own little agenda.
That's been them the whole time.
Because they discover that, like, hey, we need a little kid to save the world. But the way they're going to save the world is they're going to stab the Daimajin statue, bringing him to life so he can fight the yokaiju, which in turn will kill the boy.
Yeah.
The boy needs to sacrifice himself. And they're not even telling him he needs to die. They're like, oh, come and help us. Be brave and save the world. The yokai are going to let this little boy die.
Yeah, they're very...
Die.
Very
this little boy die is going to die.
You're going to let die. They use very underhanded methods. Hey, Daimajin.
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 Daimajin is going to make die, apparently. But yeah, Daimajin.
This is what it's all been leading to, right?
Man, there's so much in this movie.
Yeah, the yokai are here. Yeah, whole bunch of returning ones, especially from the Great Yokai War, the last movie we saw. But Daimajin's here. Daimajin's a yokai?
Daimajin is a yokai. And it's really cool to see Daimajin back. He is the main plot point of the movie.
I love this.
Is from the very start, like within the first 10 minutes, we hear about the mighty Bujin, Daimajin, and that they need to wake him up to save the world.
This is where all the plot threads start coming together.
But
this is why we watched all the Daimajin. This is why we watched all the Yokai War.
And it's so cool because it fits so well. Especially after watching all these yokai movies, we've seen everything that yokai can do. Having haunted little ceremonies, hiding out in the forest, all teaming up to fight a big monster. They've done it before. What's something new? Having an even bigger like power that they need to tap into to save the world for them.
It ends up being like very Hideaki Anno inspired, where in the past yokai movies, it's been I'm not a grounded story, obviously, because yokai. But I feel like this movie takes it up a notch, brings us to like another level of just intensity, where they're not just fighting another demon, another ghoul. They're fighting this giant eldritch snail horror.
Yeah,
because what are they called? Yokaiju.
It's called a yokaiju, which I think is the most amazing word I've ever heard.
Why didn't this come about before?
Where has this word been our whole life, Micah? Yokai. It's a yokai and it's a kaiju. It's a yokaiju. That's the big bad in the Great Yokai War Guardians is a yokaiju.
We can end the episode there. That's
done.
Enough.
That's it. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard in the history of Podzilla.
This yokaiju, I don't think he has a proper name, does he?
He's just listed as yokaiju on Wikipedia and Wikizilla and everywhere.
He's literally this giant rolling ball. I think a snail's like the most
a snail shell. Well, we're once again, I think, in like a real weird environmental storyline.
Yes.
Because Kay's teacher at the start of this movie. Micah, have you seen Kay's, the actor who played Kay's teacher, anywhere before?
Probably.
Micah. Ryunukusei Kamaki. Shikishima from Godzilla -1. Shikishima is Kay's teacher in this movie.
Who's Shikishima again?
Shikishima, the main guy.
Oh, is he the main guy?
He's the main guy.
Yeah, I knew I saw him somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, good on him.
He's the main
My boy.
guy.
I saw you guys saying Shikishima, and I'm like,
you've blocked -1 out.
Yeah, I'm like, is that what the dude from Godzilla 2000 says?
Like, his war's finally over.
Yeah.
Life, Micah.
His war's finally over, but the Great Yokai War isn't.
It's not. But he's there as a teacher, which I thought's great to see him before he was in -1. And he has this whole thing at the start of the movie when he's like explaining Fossa Magna.
Oh, bro, Fossa Magna
This big like crevice in Japan, this big chasm.
is pronounced crevasse.
Crevasse? Crevice?
Crevasse.
The big crevasse in Japan. And apparently there were a lot of animals that were killed in it. And a lot of animals whose fossils are now stuck in Fossa Magna. And because of what we've done to the world and because of tectonic plates and all manner of weirdness, they are stuck under there calling out for help.
You know what's real funny?
Yeah.
On just Wikipedia, the Fossa Magna page is so small. Like, I really don't think Fossa Magna is that big of a deal in Japan.
It was to this teacher.
So much so that every kid needs to be taught about this. I love that the teacher
heated.
I love that the teacher here sees Kay asleep in class, and he's like, "Kay, listen up. This here is the reason I became a teacher. Is because I wanted to talk about Fossa Magna
And all the poor animals whose fossils are now deep within the crevasse."
This character boggles me, Jasha.
Yeah.
Because after his whole spiel about Fossa Magna, which, like, I don't know what class this was.
Yeah.
He does his whole spiel, and he says, "And I want you to remember this." What does he say? Humans live in the void.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I had the proper quote, because...
Mike, I'm going to blow your mind.
Do you have it here?
No, but I'm going to blow your mind. This character, played by Ryunosuke Kamaki, who played Shikishima in Godzilla -1,
Yeah.
he is playing the returning character Kato.
Oh,
He is
no.
Professor Kato.
Oh,
If you remember
no.
to the Great Yokai War, Kato was this evil man dressed very nicely who was trying to kill all of humanity because we threw away too many items. Chucking things in his goon machine, making those transformers. He got morphed in with an Adzuki bean at the end, and then he returned kind of as a force ghost at the end of the movie. He's still around.
Is this confirmed?
This is confirmed.
By who?
By the director, by everyone. This is the same character. This is a continuation. He is now a teacher. It is Kato. He's just been recast.
No, I disagree. At the top of this episode, I said that there was no. This is a standalone movie. This is not a sequel.
This is a continuation.
You're telling me that the whole reason it's a sequel is because we have a returning character played by a different actor, never mentioned by name in the movie, looks different,
Hey, look at
in
the
a
credits.
different
Look at the
environment.
credits. Professor Kato, right there.
I don't believe it. It's just a different Kato.
But it explains why he's hating humans. This teacher is just like, oh, humans are in the void or whatever. And he's so hung up about the environment still.
No, because the last movie, Kato, his whole thing was that he hated how people just cast aside loved items.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to throw them into Tomatsumono the furnace.
Yes.
To bring them
remember
back
that?
in some, I don't know, man. To bring them back in some form.
Yeah.
And now he's on about the Great Fossa
The
Trench.
fossils, man. These poor fossils that we need to free. These poor fossils with grudges. These poor snail shell fossils that need to be given life and need to be allowed to destroy the world. Because at the end of this, at the very end of this movie, we cut back to Kato in the classroom and he's drawing some like eldritch sigil on the whiteboard. He's looking like he's going to take over the world once
No
again.
one knows what that symbol is.
It's Kato. Who cares? It's an evil symbol.
Forgive me if I didn't get the connection from the billion different reasons it gave me not to. I mean, that's cool. You know, I do hope they make another sequel to this movie.
Me too. I'd show up for it.
Mm.
But yeah, you're right. The yokaiju, it's just a snail.
He's not just a snail. He also has a human face that he licks things with.
Like a ghost head.
Yeah, ghost face.
Bald ghost snail man.
Yeah.
Licking things, rolling over, killing thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. He's rolling over Tokyo.
Yeah, Tokyo's destroyed.
We just see it in ruins. We never really see anyone.
What is... And, okay, let's figure this out. Red string corkboard.
Mhm.
So the yokai's plan wasn't they were split. One of their plans was to awaken the Great Bujin.
Well, Micah, big evil snail yokaiju rolling over, destroying Japan. Yeah?
Yeah.
Daimajin could take care of that, right? That's what they're thinking.
That's half of their plan. But the other half of the yokai are vehemently opposed to this because, and I love that they brought this aspect along from the Daimajin movies, Daimajin isn't a good guy. He is a force of destruction, truly like an unbridled, almost just this undestructible force that does what it wishes.
Yeah.
In the Daimajin movies, this was Daimajin's whole thing, is that he wasn't good or bad. He was a neutral party. And pretty much at the end of all of those movies, he ended up destroying the village just cause.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert, we see it a little bit at the end of this movie, but we're led to believe that Daimajin, for the most part, at least near the end of the movie, turns out to be this good guy, right? And I don't know, man. I love that they brought along the fact that even when the day seems like it's saved, turn of the dime, he can flip.
Yeah, I liked it too. Should we talk about the yokai a little bit, and then we could go into like the proper plot and the wrap up and what we actually thought of the conclusion of this movie? Because I feel like there's even more yokai than in the Great Yokai War, or at least we're introduced to more in quick succession.
Yeah, not just in crowd shots. I was very surprised to see that pretty much all the main cast of yokai return in this movie.
Yeah, Bean Man's back. Azuki Bean Man, Azukiari, Bean Man,
Bean Boy.
He is in like every scene just washing beans. At one point, he's washing them so vigorously and so loudly that everyone gets him to stand up and leave.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
They're continuing with the bean jokes and they're back and better than ever.
Yeah, who do we have? We've got...
There's that creepy man under the kid's duvet.
I don't know if he was returning.
I don't know, but he was cool.
Well, the whole reason we get introduced to these guys is Kei finds out that he can look into the yokai world when he has only one eye open.
Mm-hmm.
Which, why doesn't half the population see yokai when they wink?
I do.
Oh, fun. Good stuff, man. Should have told me earlier. But there's this whole scene where they like stick a maple leaf to his eye and he goes through the trenches, man.
He sees
one after another. This is a really, really cool scene where he, in quick succession, meets all of the yokai. We see a brief introduction and a snippet of the things that make them wacky and wonderful.
Yeah.
And I feel like even more succinctly and more efficiently than the other movies, we get an idea of the characteristics and personalities of all these monsters.
I think so too, because we're introduced to them all and they just get a quick bit. Each of them has a bit. They show up and they just do a little joke or a little thing to show us like who they are and what they do.
Do you have any bits you remember?
I have a favorite yokai.
I know who it is. It's the cold woman.
It is the cold woman. Yukiona. She is my favorite yokai. I don't know if she's been in the other ones, but she is just a woman that looks like she's in the freezing cold. She's always got snow dropping on top of her. She's always shivering. And they have so many funny jokes with her throughout this, where she's like in the hot sun and she's got a little fan trying to keep herself cold. Or that she's so seductive throughout the whole movie about coldness.
I don't know about seductive.
You weren't seduced?
Well, she's seduced.
No, she's seducing.
Past tense, seduced.
She's seducing, Micah.
She's seductible.
The first thing she says is like, I love cold men, when someone's speaking in a deep tone. Is that seductive?
Well, the whole thing is that there's that one yokai who is, I don't know his name. Inugami, with his horde of red pandas who shows up.
Tanuki, yeah.
His horde of Tanuki, who rocks up on his yokai motorbike, his yokai cycle.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a little bit mean. He's a little bit aloof.
He's kind of the anti-hero. I don't think he wants humanity to win.
Yeah, something's off about him. I don't know if I quite got it from the movie.
He was there at the start when the yokaiju was born. I think he's just chilling out.
He's just having a good time.
I'll just go down with the world, you know?
But Yuki Onna, Her whole thing is that she just loves how cold he is.
So cold. Micah, he burns, but it's still cold. It's still cold. It was really funny. It was really funny. I just loved her. But yeah, so many. We get another bit with the long-necked woman. New Peppo's back, but he's like an actual human guy, just with the most flabbiest, fattest face I've ever seen.
Yeah. We get the lantern face from the last movie.
Mikey, your water wheel's back?
The flaming water wheel is
here
back.
for a second.
As well as this opening scene, though, which is just fantastic in its own right. This movie ends up doing some real fun things. Like, they end up doing a flashback sequence that Kay and the lantern yokai end up viewing as like faces on the screen.
They're YouTube reacting to a scene that happened in the past. They're sniper wolfing it.
Yeah, it's good. The scene they're reacting to is like this it's like the Council of Worldwide Yokai.
The World Yokai Summit, which I believe is called the Yummit. The Yummit. We get a scene of the Yummit, all the yokai around the world, and we finally, once and for all, find out that yokai aren't just Japan exclusive. We see yokai from all over the place. We see the abominable snowman. He's a yokai at the Yummit.
I think the Wikipedia page for this sums it up quite nicely. Under the featured yokai page,
Yeah, please.
we have Amifurikozo, Kappa, Rokorokubi, Itan Momin, Count Dracula, Frankenstein, Yeti, a merman, a mermaid, Medusa, a cyclops, a zombie, a witch, a troll, a fishman, an Egyptian mummy, a haunted doll, and to top it all off, a killer clown.
There's a killer clown in this, and he's a yokai at the Yummit.
Hey, all those times, Annabelle? She's a yokai.
She's a yokai. I loved my favorite guy at the Yummit was, I don't even know how to describe him. He just looks like a guy, just a fat dude with like a pop culture t-shirt on, and he was balding. He's just a fat, ugly guy, just a normal fat, ugly human guy.
Bro, that was my mate Kev.
Kev?
No, that's a bad name. We have friend of the pod. This is not friend of the podcast, Kev. That's my mate, Zachariah.
That's your mate, Zachariah.
Bro, I've got at least 3 yokai friends just like him.
I thought you were in the movie for a second. I was like, Micah, did you do a little cameo? Tell me about this 2021.
This is a good scene. I mean, it's really funny even seeing that like Medusa is here. It's quite a fun idea just to have a bunch of these different mythological legends from around the globe appear in this movie.
It's crazy that we're at the point when the Yokai Monsters series started off so serious, and now we're here where they're just having like self-referential fun, and there's a yokai summit that the Adzuki Bean guy is like
being banished from
this
behavior.
Killer clowns are showing up. It's just crazy. We're off the rails.
Yeah. Can we ever come back from this?
And I love it so much. I love Takashi Miike's flavor of this, where it's just such a weird. I think Nelbus last episode in his review summed it up nicely. It almost seems like a weird fantasy Final Fantasy video game world. Like it's almost like he has just pulled these legends and created something wholly different and wholly unique, and just given us this fictional fantasy.
Yeah, I think it stands out more so because out of all the Yokai Monster movies we've seen so far, each of them have been so different in tone.
Yeah.
And to have a set of movies now that establish a tone and stick with it.
Yeah, it's great.
It just stands out. It makes sense because we're now a bit more used to this.
And to have continuity with Kato, right?
To have honestly, the biggest continuity in my mind is the Adzuki Bean Man. He comes on the movie and he just has like the exact same look to him. What seems so close to the same actor. And he's just doing his same Adzuki Bean shenanigans. I'm like, this feels like home to me now.
I can't believe they're banishing him. This guy saved the world 15 years ago, you know?
Do you think this guy is the director's favorite yokai? This is like his signature.
I love him.
He's like, yeah, this is my movie. The Bean Man has to be in it.
Takashi, man, he loves the weird ones. Like we get that guy with the tofu. Just a dude with a plate of tofu. There's one scene, I don't know if you remember this, but it's near the end. We see this like giant cat yokai.
I remember this, yeah.
And it's got like a crystal in its head. It's got its head's on fire. And
then a little baby cat.
comes out of its flaming head. Like, who was that guy?
Yeah, he's a yokai.
We get the little vase, the little vase, the guy that he just exact same bit when he shows up in the final fight, this little pot, and he just tips over straight away.
Yeah, it's good, man. I feel like honestly, you got to give this movie credit for the unique Kojai. Oh, that's not the right word.
Kojai.
The unique, that's a different mix of kaiju and yokai. The unique yokai that it brings in.
Yeah.
And like, we saw most of these guys having a little bit at the start of the movie. So many of them just have a quick little bit. It's fun. It feels, again, like not an anthology of different stories, but just a showcase of those characters.
Yeah. And it just works so well for the story because all this Yamut stuff going on is only one bit of the movie. And when you follow the two brothers, Kei is drawn into like the yokai underworld with Miss Fox.
Yeah, or don't give her a name.
Miss Fox.
Don't call her a name.
And Mr. Tumnus with a flip phone.
I guess he was a Mr. Tumnus, wasn't he?
Yeah, Kei's whole plot is he's like taking up the mantle of his ancestor, whereas Dai's whole plot is he's trying to wake up Daimajin, and even though he knows he'll die in the end, he does it anyway to save the world. This little kid.
Yeah, Dai's whole plot is really fun. I do like where Kei's plot goes because it feels very, I don't know, very Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Funnily enough. And like, I'm not a Percy Jackson fan per se. I'm not a Percy Jackson fan per se.
Percy.
Percy.
Percy Jackson, I. Per se.
Per se, I. But like, it just feels like such a cool little hero's journey he takes by himself, taking on the mantle of his great ancestor, the warrior Watanabe.
Tsuna.
And he gets his own, like, he goes through the same steps that our main character went in.
Tadashi, yeah.
He goes through the same steps that our main character went through in the last Yokai War movie.
Tadashi.
He gets the magical sword that sometimes fights by itself. He gets his own, like, branded outfit.
Yes.
With his ancestor's name on his head.
Dude, this guy's Gableless. He's stepping up.
Yeah.
He's ready to fight. And we get this whole world of like interior yokai shenanigans when we find out you can't give yokai a name or else they cease to exist and lose their powers.
Yeah.
Do you know about this?
No, I really wonder if this is just a unique aspect that the director brought in himself, or whether this is like yokai 101 that everybody should know.
Because all these yokai have names.
No. The whole
Kasa
thing,
Obake is the umbrella. You know?
the whole thing is that when a yokai
It's called a name?
accepts a name, I believe.
So you can call him Kasa Obake, but that umbrella is never going to nod at you after you say it.
He's never going to respond to it.
No.
And I do love that specifically with Mrs. Fox lady, when Kei calls her Miss Fox, she like very immediately goes on a journey of like losing power, and we find it out later it's because she like nodded to him very slightly in that one moment.
She just did a tiny nod. It wasn't even really for the name. It was just to like respond to him talking to her.
But she acknowledged him.
She acknowledged the Miss Fox name. So that's who she is.
What did you think of Little Mr. Tumnus?
Mr. Tumnus.
Because he was a specific yokai as well.
Yeah, who knows? I didn't really like him, but I did think that the plot was pretty interesting because we find out that there's like an evil group of yokai called the Oni.
Yeah,
There's
man.
the Oni gang.
Yeah, man.
And they're like trying to stop the yokai. There's so many parties at play here. So many moving pieces in this film. It's wild. We didn't even talk about the good yokaiju, the like whale dragon bone monster.
Yeah, that Miss Fox.
It's on Miss Fox's side.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do love the whole. My favorite part of this movie, to be honest, the Great Yokai War was so good. I felt like it followed the same tone throughout. The last movie we watched followed the same tone throughout. It was real. enjoyable, simple adventure that kind of does step by step.
Yeah.
This one felt very overcrowded. And I kind of
Yes.
like how big and sprawling it was and how many little bits and pieces it was. Some of them were underwhelming. My favorite part of this movie, though, is just Kay and Dai and the two kids and their journey. Because again, self-proclaimed kaiju hater Jaisha over here. No, I love kaiju movies. They're just not my absolute favorite thing.
Kaiju.
But like, my favorite parts of the movie weren't the fight scenes. My favorite parts of this movie were when Kay is diffusing a situation with the Oni and like having a real heart-to-heart with everyone he encounters. Because he tries to become friends with Yokai Mr. Tumnus.
What's his name? I've got his name here. Amano-jaku, whose whole thing is that every statement he makes is contrary. On the contrary, it's the opposite to what he's actually saying.
Yeah.
So when Kay asks, are you an Amano-jaku? He's like, no, I'm absolutely not an Amano-jaku.
Yeah. Which isn't acknowledging the name.
Yeah, it's not. Because he's explicitly not acknowledging the name.
But he is actually meaning the opposite, which means he is. But he's not acknowledging it still? That's a tricky one.
Yeah, something about it.
But yeah, he ends up that guy.
Oh,
that goat
he finds
man.
a flip phone. He's just talking to the phone the whole movie.
He's got a flip phone, and then he ends up betraying Kay for the Oni. And there's this really cute moment when you think like Kay's like it's gonna be a big fight scene or something, or something crazy is gonna happen, and Kay's just like, well, you know what, Mr. Tumnus, I'm glad you've got friends other than your flip phone, even if they are the Oni. And I can't fight friends of a friend.
I love that. There's this whole army of like very evil yokai going up against him. And because this one dude that was his friend betrayed him, he can't fight a friend of a friend.
Yeah, but it starts this whole arc. It like starts there, but continues through the rest of the movie when he's just diffusing every situation and trying to find any other way than violence to end it.
Which is a really fun way to turn the trope of like channeling the ancestor warrior of yours and being like this very physically powerful now character that doesn't use it in the way that you'd think.
And that's when I really jumped on board because like big kaiju fight scenes, yokai fighting one another, scaring one another, we've seen that in all the previous movies. And this was a bit of a different route where it was just this young guy wanting to bring the best out of everyone and wanting to leave fighting as absolute last option. And he like becomes friends with the Oni kind of, and he becomes friends with Mr. Tumnus. That's his name. I can't acknowledge his real name, so I'm calling him Mr. Tumnus.
But that's giving him a name, Geisha. Watch out.
But like even when he finds his broken flip phone at the end, he's like, well, even though it's still broken, still your friend, right? And that's like that's him, man. Even though things around him are broken and this world of yokai are broken, they're still his friends. Like you can still be friends with broken people and broken things.
I feel like it becomes much more poignant as well when near the start of the movie, you are able to see his journey of being just such a cowardly person who does not stand up for anything. We have a scene where Miss Fox tries to draw the confidence out of him by making him walk across these steps over a pit that he falls into and joins the yokai underworld, the yokai Squid Game underworld.
Yeah. She's Mr. Beast. She's the yokai Mr. Beast. You know? Hey, jump across.
This is Mrs. Beast.
Sorry, Miss Beast. Miss Fox.
Ms. Fox Beast, but we can't give her a name or else she will cease to exist. But even like, that's a whole nother aspect is that we find out that she used to work with the Oni or be like a bad yokai in some capacity. But then it was Kay's ancestor, this great yokai or this great like Oni hunter. And she was the last person that he kind of faced and explicitly chose not to kill. Yeah. And that's how he kind of retired from his fighting warrior role. And potentially they had a relationship or some sort of romance.
What even is she?
She is a nine-tailed fox.
She's nine-tailed fox, but she's also Mononoke. Did she call herself Princess Mononoke?
Did she?
I think she did.
No, because that would have been giving herself a name.
Oh, you're right. She can't even do that.
She looks like it.
She does look like it.
I really do like the twist of her being a nine-tailed fox and being this very, like, what could be considered as one of the more famous Japanese mythological legends.
Yeah.
We've all heard of the Nine-Tailed Fox.
We've all watched Naruto.
We've all
Come on.
played Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, the Nine-Tailed Fox and Volperion.
Oh, you were so close.
Vulpix.
You're one vowel off, but we'll give
It's
it to
Vol,
you.
right?
Yeah.
I can see. I know my stuff.
But like Nine-Tailed Fox is so prolific in so much media, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like another side effect of this yokai journey is that it's made me have so much more appreciation for seeing yokai in other media now.
That's it. And I'm just glad we know of all these guys. Like, I'm so glad we know of all these monsters and just like have. I'm just so glad I know these little guys. They're all so wacky.
I mean, I brought it up in one of our early episodes, but like the reason I'm familiar with Kappa as a character is in the game Animal Crossing, there is a Kappa who is a creature that you interact with and become friends with. And
just before I'll let you continue later, but just quick moment of silence for Kappa.
he got crushed yet again by a rolling
He just gets killed.
object.
He just gets killed early in this movie.
But like I know Kappa from that, and I'm so looking forward to the moment where like 10 years from now, the bean counting man pops up in a piece of media, and I'm like, hold up, I know who this is.
Can we get the bean counting man in Animal Crossing? Please. Man, we need a Yokai Monsters game. Just Pokemon
Wouldn't that
but
be
with
so
Yokai
fun?
Monsters.
Or even like, I don't know if you've played any of the Warriors series, Orochi Warriors.
Yeah.
That in a yokai cast of characters, I'm in heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fire Emblem with yokai,
Oh.
I'm in heaven. Nintendogs with yokai, I'm in heaven. Having a nine-tailed fox as your pet.
No, I want that little monkey. The little monkey from this movie? The little monkey with the bag?
That goes along with Daiei on his journey.
Yeah, I want him. We need to talk about the finale, though, because I feel like it's huge. It's built up to be so massive in this. All the yokai are in the ruins of the city in Japan. The big yokaiju is there. Daimajin is awake and has chosen to save Dai, not to kill him.
Yeah, Dai stabs him with the sword, even though he is not the fated warrior to do so, and so he would be sacrificed.
Yeah.
But knowing that Kai is going to be sacrificed if he does it, Dai just takes the plunge, and he earns the respect of the Great Bujin.
Yeah, and then Daimajin with Dai on his shoulders, showing up to the battle with like fire surrounding them. It's so cool. What do you think of this Daimajin design?
This is so interesting for a new design. I'm going to dub him Yokai
Yokai.
I feel like that fits quite well. But he's got like 3 forms, I'd say. He's got his statue form when he's not awake and alive.
Which we've had in all the Daimajin movies.
Yep. Where he looks a little bit different.
Practical statue almost.
Yeah. Looks very much more like a rocky formation.
He's completely CGI in this movie.
Yes.
But then he also just looks very chibi-ified almost as that statue.
Yeah, the statue looks so derpy.
A lot cuter than Daimajin usually is. But I quite like when he's actually like Daimajin moving around, fire coming out of his head.
Well, I kind of like the fact that he looks so derpy and so placid in his statue, and it makes the transformation into his like very aggressive, what we think of as Daimajin, so much more intense, because he's got like these cracks of lava running through his face. I feel like I could feel his glare staring into my soul.
Yeah.
I could feel his wrath.
You could feel the wrath of Daimajin?
Yeah.
I could
him.
feel the return.
I could feel Daimajin.
I could feel canon right there, you know?
I think Daimajin is canon.
Yeah. Man, it's so cool though, because yokai behind him, Daimajin shows up, pulls out his little dagger, which turns into the super long
the
sword.
biggest blade I've ever seen in my life.
He jumps into the air, sends it the whole width up the yokaiju, cuts it completely in half, does this cool finisher move when he's like in the sky above the clouds with the moon behind him.
This is such a cool shot. This is like, I feel like we rarely see any anime elements in. Funnily enough, like this Japanese kaiju tokusatsu media, but in this moment, I It was like Evangelion all over again.
Yeah, man.
I haven't watched Evangelion, but I
It's like
could all over
You're
again.
reliving something you've never watched. But then it's not over. And the like cut in half yokaiju starts to reform and it like unravels and it becomes this huge fossilized dragon.
Yeah, like this bone naga snake thing.
And guess
I
what?
love it.
Daimajin's too scared to fight it.
This is where we see Daimajin's third form, which is his scared face, where he brings down his fists, and he looks like a what's that famous artwork? The Scream.
Yeah.
He just looks like that.
I like it. I'd love a Daimajin character when he is a statue that's continuously changing to different statuesque faces, but is more prone to being angry.
Yeah, he can go through like only one emotion at a time.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be a fun way to take him. I liked it in this. It was so you're waiting for him to go up against this even bigger monster, and then he just turns around.
I feel like it's a little bit off-putting and it undercuts the moment a little bit when you see that face. It's like a little bit too crazy and too funny for the moment. I think with a slight change, they would have so much easier been able to get across that feeling of like, this is a creature that even Daimajin is afraid of.
Yeah.
And I feel like it doesn't hit as hard because of that.
Yeah. He looks less afraid and more goofy than anything.
Yeah.
But Kay steps up and instead of fighting, how does it even happen? He doesn't do it, eh?
The anti-hero dude, he grows a hernia.
Yeah. The anti-hero, that weird dude with the Ghost Rider bike with his Tanuki army. When all hope seems lost, when even Daimajin's too scared to fight, he starts to drum on his belly, and his Tanuki army, his raccoon army, all start drumming on their tummies. And the final bit of this film is a big musical number. And Kay, Dai, these two kids are now the bravest kids ever. They decide that instead of trying to fight again, they're going to sing. And they're going to try and free this fossil who is yearning to be free of that crevasse that he was in.
It's quite a moving moment because...
Get him to move on from his grudge, right? Is what they say?
Yeah, I think going back to Kato's whole deal, this creature doesn't really want to hurt all of humanity, but it just has so much pent-up anger and a grudge against humanity for, I don't know, something that we did to it, that it physically like can't move on and can't rest, and it's only through humanity like healing that bond by singing that it can be sent back and have like a restful afterlife. Yeah, this musical number lasts ages.
It lasts ages, and I can see how people will be disappointed if they were ready for like Daimajin versus an even bigger dragon. It's very like strange when this music starts in the movie, but I just loved it, man. I really, really enjoyed it, and I thought it was perfect for these two heroes trying to free it of its grudge without fighting. And all the yokai choosing to do the same and to join in with the song. It is still a bit wild. We get like 3 Japanese men in heaven playing flutes.
I forget about that as well. What I understand that people don't like about it is you think back to the original Yokai trilogy, and in the second movie, 100 Monsters, the yokai ended up defeating the antagonist of that movie.
Spook Warfare?
In Spook Warfare, they ended up defeating the antagonist of that movie in a big yokai battle.
Yeah.
In the first movie, the yokai very explicitly started hunting down these characters, and same with the third movie, they ended up terrorizing the humans and causing them to die. And I think for fans of those movies especially, when you're coming from those movies and coming into this movie, there's an expectation that the yokai are going to fight back. But I feel like with Takashi Miike's vision for his whole world of yokai and what he wants the Yokai Monsters world to be, his is much more one where the yokai aren't these monsters with a proclivity to attack and fight, but they're ones with just this wacky nature, but they do in the end try to, overcome the powers of evil with some sort of good, right?
Yeah.
And with the last movie, The Great Yokai War, that ended up being in the form of an Adzuki bean with a big final musical number and the power of good triumphing over evil.
Yeah, and I think you're spot on there, because a lot of those older Yokai Monsters movies, they do try to be scary and be more horror films, and the yokai are gross and disturbing.
Yeah, disturbing especially.
We've got a bean man. We've got a cat with another cat coming out of its head. We've got a tiny monkey. Like, everyone, there's so many yokai, and they don't really fit into that category of, hey, this guy's going to be great beating up this guy. They're more so like this community. Some of them are fighters, some of them aren't. They're all like warring within themselves. And I think it works better than anything else could have to just have the Oni, the yokai, the humans, everyone at the end of this just choosing kindness. I mean, it's cheesy, but choosing kindness at the end instead of a big fight, singing a song, letting this thing free of its grudge. And I love music. Give me a big musical number at the end of one of these films. I thought it was great.
Especially since, as well, like the Gamera series classically, some of them have been more mature movies, but at the heart of the movies, it's always been Gamera, like guardian of the children of the world. And these last 2 Yokai Monsters movies, I mean, you just have to face the fact that they are family movies now.
Yeah.
More aimed towards kids. So I don't think you're going to be expecting a huge bloody battle. I think it's really cool that we got as much of Daimajin full on like carving this monster up, this yokaiju up as we did. I think it creates this space where you're able to feel the best of both worlds.
Yeah, me too. And it was pretty touching. Like, again, when you come back to Kei, the kid in this, there's a moment after the snail's been cut in half and like when it's been raised again and Daimajin's scared of it and everyone's scared, the yokai wanting to run away, and Kei has a line where he's like, if we run, they'll die, right? He's talking about the rest of Japan, and he chooses like to be brave in that moment and to sing and try. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a sucker for stuff like that.
Guys, my favorite moment, man, the yokaiju turns into this giant Erd tree.
Yeah.
I love it. This sakura tree that like gets fully formed, it glows in the wind, and then it kind of disintegrates. And we're left with no yokaiju. And everybody's so happy they think the day has been saved, that good has finally triumphed over evil. And then Daimajin just turns on them.
Which is perfect, right? It's like another moment when you're like, oh no, now we've got another third. It's going to be a battle again. And Daimajin's just as angry as he's ever been. He starts stomping. He starts actually like killing yokai. He's hitting them.
Oh yeah. I really love that they lean so far into the fact that he's just once again killing people. I think it can come across as a little bit of a tonal shift. Like, in World, what's the reason for him fighting against this giant evil creature with Dai and then just turning against him?
But they have fun with it. Like straight after they've sung a song, Daimajin's angry. I think one of the yokai are like, should we sing again? Like, should we try and sing to get us out of this fight as well? Like they're having fun with it. And I think they're just exactly what you're saying, trying to give us the best of both worlds, have Daimajin in there in his truest form. And what I love as well is Daimajin tries to step on and kill Dai.
Yeah.
Kei saves his brother. And then Daimajin sees his brother's love for one another, sees that Kei is willing to sacrifice himself, and then he chooses to disappear, fly up, like disintegrate, and then become this orb of light, which he does in all the other Daimajin movies, go back into the air. And if I recall correctly, in all the other Daimajin movies, he doesn't die or fade away until someone sacrifices himself or is willing to sacrifice themselves. If I remember correctly, all these movies end Daimajin's like turning on the village that he was originally there to protect, and then someone's willing to sacrifice themselves for their others, and then he finally stops. So I like how they'll bring those exact same themes in and staying true to the character.
I think I've cracked the code, Jasha.
Yeah?
I think that Daimajin in this movie is the embodiment of all the people who hated the singing and wanted a great battle. Because they see good triumph over evil with the power of the song. Daimajin's angry. He wanted this huge world-ending battle. So he just turns against everybody near and dear to him. No, I really like what they do with Daimajin here. It's such an awesome way to bring back a character that is so close to Daiei. And I think especially since seeing not only the 3 movies, but also Daimajin canon, which I think does stand on its own as a really cool piece of like kaiju and Daimajin lore.
Mm-hmm.
This is a cool way to reinvigorate life and a new aspect into the character.
Yeah. And I love the line as well. Another yokai says it at the end. He's like, oh, we'll give Daimajin 100 years and he'll calm down. They're just having so much fun. Takashi's just having so much fun with this whole world. Should we go into trivia? This episode's going a bit long, guys, but long movie. We'll try beat the movie's runtime, So yeah, trivia. Shikishima from Godzilla -1 is back as Kato.
Yeah, classic.
That was the big piece.
Do we have another -1 actress?
Yes, we have another -1 actress, Sakura Ando, who plays Abume in this. And she in this is the yokai who lost her baby in childbirth, and she's cursed to carry around her unborn child while she's covered in blood.
Crazy idea for a yokai.
It's real dark when you've got, this umbrella with a tongue next to her. But I also loved it because like when they sing the song at the end, her baby opens its eyes and like is alive once more.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. But yeah, we got some -1 crossover. I wanted to just take a step back because I don't think we ever went over this, just the history of Daimajin after Wrath of Daimajin.
Sure, because we jumped straight into canon, which was like 20 plus years later.
Yeah, but a lot happened in between. In 1984, Daiei wanted to remake Daimajin, bring Daimajin back in the Heisei era, and they went to Ishiro Honda and wanted him to direct their Daimajin movie.
Oh.
Ishiro Honda. And he was apparently really, really interested. He was going to direct Daimajin for Daiei.
The director of the OG Godzilla movie.
Yes, in the 80s was going to go and do a Daimajin movie, but it unfortunately fell through. And then interestingly enough, they tried to do another Daimajin reboot in 2006, and they were going to have Steven Seagal star in it. And there's another random Godzilla connection, because if I remember correctly, Steven Seagal's daughter was in some of the Godzilla movies. Or the Gamera movies.
In the Gamera movies.
She is in the Gamera movies. She is the girl that's kind of Gamera's priestess in the Heisei trilogy.
Yeah.
So another strange connection there. That fell through. And then after that, Takashi Miike in 2008 was going to direct a Daimajin reboot. Takashi Miike, director of this. But it was cancelled after they reassessed the failure in the box office for Gamera the Brave. So they were going to make a Daimajin film with Takashi Miike, but they were like, hey, Gamera the Brave didn't do well. We probably shouldn't make this. So there were so many Daimajin films that were in the works, and Daiei was trying to bring this back for the longest time. And I think it's really, really cool that even though Takashi Miike had a failed Daimajin project, he was able to bring Daimajin into his yokai monsters, the great yokai war guardians.
Yeah.
Kind of like come back to this project or this monster he was going to make a movie of that never came to be.
That's so interesting, especially I'm just shocked that after the box office failure of Gamera the Brave, they were like, "Nah, we can't do a Daimajin reboot, but we can do a 26 episode Daimajin series that isn't really about Daimajin at all."
I don't think we talked about that in the Daimajin Canon episode either, but I think it was a really expensive show. Like I was reading about it afterwards, and it was like one of the most expensive Japanese shows at the time, Daimajin Canon.
There's no way that it made its money back, right?
Nah, no way.
Surely not.
No way. Just a few more monsters that were at the Yokai Yamut.
Yamut?
The Yokai Yamut. They specifically, Takashi wanted to pay homage to a lot of American monsters. So the Killer Clown was him giving his homage to Pennywise from It.
Yep, classic.
There was an amphibian man in this that he wanted to give homage to Guillermo del Toro's The Shape of Water.
Oh, that's quite a recent callback then.
Yeah. I mean, this came out 2021.
Yeah.
And then he also, there's apparently a Cyclops in the back of one of the scenes. And this is him referencing the seventh voyage of Sinbad.
The seventh voyage.
The seventh voyage in the crevasse. Sinbad. But pretty cool of him to get those in there. And then lastly, you mentioned this before we were recording, but there was actually a spin-off novelization that came out around the time this movie did. It was called The Great Yokai War Guardians Gaiden. It was published, in June, the year this came out, a bit after the movie. And it apparently shows a big black tortoise called Genbu, who is summoned to fight other monsters and other foes while Daimajin's also fighting the Yokaiju. So apparently in this novelization, there's a whole nother subplot where a giant turtle kaiju is saving the world as well. And it was strongly influenced by Gamera, of course.
Yeah.
He has the exact same moveset as Gamera with his fireballs, and he spins when he flies. And apparently there's the scene in this novelization where yokai are singing a modified version of the Gamera March.
Oh,
You're
please.
so cool, Genbu. You're so cool, Genbu. I don't know.
Can we track this down and do it for the Podzilla book club?
Can we read the Great Yokai War Guardians novelization?
Please.
But yeah, Gamera, always connecting back to this. You guys said we wouldn't find the connection.
We found 50 of them.
We found many. Anyway, Micah, should we get to final thoughts?
Yeah, dude.
Bring us home. The Great Yokai War Guardians. Is this the Yokai Monsters movie that you finally fall in love with? Is this the only one that you have positive reactions to?
I'm just trying to think of a rating system now. you flung this upon me. I didn't have time to prepare.
Gables, surely. Gables.
Yeah, we got to have Gables. I did really like it.
It's won you over.
Yeah. I don't know why, man. I think I'm even surprised myself because compared to the last movie, this one isn't too tonally dissimilar. I think in the end, it does come down to the factors of Dai and Kei being really enthralling protagonists and, being able to embody their childlike nature so well. I feel like the journey that we see Kei go on, our main character, one of being real down on his luck and like actually cowardly, and his slow progression into someone who not only shows that he loves his brother, but is so willing to sacrifice it all for him.
Reminded you of me.
Yeah, so willing to sacrifice it all for me. But so willing to sacrifice it all for Kei, fully believing that it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's a really compelling character arc, and I think one of the things that I noted I didn't like about the last movie is how our main character, I felt like he didn't do all that much in terms of being a great chosen hero, about how he had to have this magic sword tied to him and it did all the work in fighting. And I feel like we did see that a little bit with Kei, but for the main part, like, in all of the fighting scenes, he just seems like an epic hero who stands by himself. I feel like he really embodies his ancestor. I just got to give huge props to this actor. I feel like he does so much work in carrying the movie.
Kakuro Terada, eh?
Man, I genuinely cannot wait to see what he does in the future.
Yeah.
But even the fact, like you said, this movie does seem a little bit messy just because it pulls in so many different elements. Like, I still don't really know who that weird anti-hero Tanuki drum belly guy is who rocks up on his motorcycle. But I feel like having so many aspects like that feel like they are somewhat fleshed out, even though I'm not privy to them all, it makes this whole movie feel like a huge fantasy epic.
It makes the world feel very lived in.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like one of my big gripes with the last movie was that there were so many elements that just felt randomly thrown in, but the elements in here don't feel that random. They feel like they have a lot of lore and a lot of story and a lot of history behind them, that even if we as the audience don't experience all of that, it still feels like they are there, which I really love. And like Daimajin is just great as well. I feel like Daimajin fits in so wonderfully with the world that Takashi has created here. The whole thing just feels quite seamless, funnily enough.
Whoa.
I know that's not me giving it five out of 5 gables.
No, I'm just shocked that we go from a star and a half for the other Yokai Monsters, and then we're in a seamless movie.
Same.
I love it. The journey.
Daimajin fits in seamlessly, is what I'm saying. And it is just real fun seeing so many of these yokai re-envisioned. Like the addition of the cold woman is so fun.
You liked it, didn't you?
You did, man.
Yeah, you just said you liked her addition.
I liked
You're
her.
feeling that coolness, Micah.
Oh, man, I'm feeling chilly right now.
You're blushing is what you're doing.
My little cold woman. Cut that out, please, Jason.
I'm keeping that in.
It is really cool seeing just all these different yokai, and even though like they're not, a lot of them aren't present for a huge portion of the movie, I feel like it helps that we don't have this real small cast of yokai like the last movie, but we have this large cast where they each get to like show off one little aspect of them, and then it feels like they're just in the background. I feel like that's okay for the style of movie that Takashi's going for here. I could take or leave the sequel bait.
But Micah, it's Kano.
I don't know. It's not. I do hope they do a sequel though. I feel like I am now engrossed in this world. So much so, Jasha, that I'm giving the Great Yokai War Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have 4 gables.
Whoa.
I don't have 4 out of 5 gables. I only have 1 gable.
You don't have 4 gables out of 5.
So I've got 1 out of 5 gables for this movie.
Which means you don't have 4 out of 5. This is crazy.
Can't wait to hear what you're
giving this film 1 out of 5 gables.
1 out of 5 gables.
But it's positive.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I like Kei as a character a lot more than Tadashi in the last one. Like, even though I gave that film 5 out of 5, Kei is so good in this. He is the heart and soul of this movie. I love that it changed things up and went for more of like an introspective, kind of emotional tale of these 2 boys becoming brave in the face of danger. I love that. And I love Takashi still putting in his little bits of weirdness with the songs and the strange little bits the characters do. I do feel like the Great Yokai War overall is just a bit tighter for me. It was also a bit more stylized.
Yeah.
Even though the CGI was a bit messy, it just had this crazy style to it and crazy tone that this one was missing a bit. This one felt very modern in a bad way to me. Like, it just felt like a modern movie. I don't really know.
Jasha hates modern movies.
I don't really know how to say it, but like, it didn't feel like it really had a style to it all. It just
get that.
felt kind of cheap in a weird way. Like some of the costumes felt a little cheap.
I'm surprised at that comment.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of that. Who's that dude with the bald head? Do you remember him?
I feel like the makeup department did really well with him.
I could just see the seams when his makeup met under his eyes the whole time. I couldn't take my eyes off it.
I was too busy looking at his giant forehead.
Too busy.
I wasn't
looking
looking
at
under his
the
eyes.
Cold woman. Yeah, I don't know.
Can I just say, in the watch party, Jaisha was the one fawning over the cold woman. the whole time. I didn't make a single
I'm pretty
comment.
Sure it's you for the cold woman, you for Mirabi, you from who was the blonde guy in the Godzilla anime trilogy?
Lucas? No. I can't even remember his name, man. That's how much
he's
I
gone
wasn't
into the
into.
past. You've forgotten about him. Yeah, I don't know. This one just didn't feel as tight and did feel broader and messy, and that it was kind of jam packed full of a lot of stuff. Some of which worked, some of which didn't. I'm missing 3.5.
No. How many gables do you have?
I'm missing.
No. How many gables do you have?
I have 2.5 gables.
So you're missing
3.5.
Jaisha, that doesn't add up. Jaisha,
Wait,
it doesn't add up.
Wait, I've got 1.5 gable. Wait. No. Yeah. I've got 1.5 gable. I've got a gable and a half. Micah.
Yeah. You don't have 3.5 gables.
I'm gableless 3.5 times. And then I'm gabled 1.5.
Man, Jaisha's so gabled right now.
They call me Jaisha of Green Gables. Jaisha Anne of Green Gableless.
Jaisha of Green Gable and a half.
That girl Anne, she has a lot of gables. She's cowardly.
Man.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about this just didn't really work for me. I liked how crazy the first one was.
I love how I'm positive and I give it a 4 out of 5 and you're like, I didn't really like it. 3.5.
It was really good, but like, I think, yeah. I mean,
compared to the other one, it is quite
the
a
other one.
decrease.
Yeah. Let's go to our mail.
Yes,
MAILnilla.
yes.
Your favorite segment, my favorite segment. P-Fans, next episode, we're doing a wrap-up episode for the entire season. You can ask us anything you like. Please email us, podzillapod@gmail.com, or use the form in the show notes. Ask us anything in the world.
Doesn't have to be about kaiju, Podzilla even.
No.
Anything you want to ask us.
Anything you want to ask us about anything can be wild, can be crazy. You can send in a voice message. You can send in a couple sentences. You can send in a word. Anything you send in to us will be reading out. I mean, it can be about this season and the movies we've covered, what your favorites have been. But yeah, let's hear from some people who sent in their thoughts on the great Yokai War Guardians, starting with Agnes. And we watched this film with Agnes in the Discord. Agnes was in the watch party the other night. Very fun time. Very fun time. Agnes says, "It's me, Agnes, the new host of Podzilla." Just here to say,
This is news to me. This is great.
just here to say, my first watch party was insanity. What a movie. Bean guy, pot with legs, throat lady. Wow. We also can't forget.
Neck lady is no more. Throat lady is where it's at.
Wow. We also can't forget the too hot to kill Miss Fox. If you watch this film, it's imperative you go in blind and watch none of the previous movies.
I love how you're saying this at the end of the episode where we explain all of it.
4 out of 5 yummets from Agnes, and it lost 1 yummet because of the whack-ass song at the end. Power of friendship all the way, though. Signed, the new Podzilla host, Agnes.
See, now you've got some competition. If you're replacing Jaisha, I feel like you got to love songs. I feel like it won't work out.
Agnes, it's all fun and games you saying this until Micah dies and I need a new Podzilla co-host and I'm calling you up and it's your time to shine. It's all fun and games until you're called upon. So get ready. Be waiting. Hopefully you don't die sometime soon, Micah.
Yeah, thank you.
But you know, nurses, they're exploited all the time. You could be killed, exploited.
It's not the same thing.
if you killed someone, that would count as exploitation of that person. If you killed someone and used their name and gains,
are you going to use my gains if I die?
Dude, I'm going to use your gables. Okay, here's another review from Repod Reptiles, who was also at the watch party with us. Repod says, "Hey, my Podzilla boys, long time no see. So, the great Yokai War Guardians. I've always walked away from the yokai films with a newfound appreciation of the effects or the time the film was made. Kind of makes me want to rummage through my old DVD bin and put on some of the older Godzilla or Gamera films from the Showa era. And the same thing happened here, more or less. This movie specifically makes me want to explore more of the modern Japanese films that have come out recently that aren't just Daikaiju or anime, as I'm used to. But yeah, the film itself, very enjoyable. I really like the central message of pacifism and trying to make allies rather than fighting to the death. I think we need more media with that kind of message, especially now. Also, the two main kid characters, fantastic performances from both of them. No notes needed. I do hope that we get to see more of them in the near future. Overall, I walked away surprisingly liking the film more than I thought. He's giving it 4.5 gables out of 5, Micah.
Man, so only half? Bro doesn't have 0.5 gables. He's the weakest person I know.
Sorry, Repod.
You are so cowardly, man.
He says, "Have a good one, gentlemen. P.S. So Toho and Katakawa decided to collaborate on this film instead of, a fight between a giant radioactive lizard and a specific guardian turtle creature. I'm just saying."
I don't think that the world will end without a Godzilla versus Gamera movie one day.
Just saying the world will end.
Yeah.
Doom and gloom over here.
Yeah, because there's going to be a yokaiju that comes along.
Lastly, we have a voice message from Connor.
No freaking way.
Let's have a listen.
I was begged to send in a voice note, so here I am talking about Guardians, and I enjoyed this film. I thought it was a lot of fun. I essentially watched it twice in one day by accident. I did not plan on that happening, but here I am. It happened. And I feel like these films are just so ridiculous and so fantastical that no matter what happens, I'm just like, sure, I believe that could happen in this world. Why not? And the biggest example, obviously, is like that song at the end. Instead of having a big battle in a film called The Great Yokai War, instead of having a war, they all hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and it works. The bad guy turns into a giant cherry blossom tree, and then everyone lives happily ever after. And in any other film, I would be like, that is ridiculous. But in this film, I'm just like, yes, it's ridiculous, but sure, why not? I guess in this crazy world, that makes sense. And obviously, it was great seeing Daimajin again. I do wish that he was an actual human actor instead of a CGI creation, but I didn't mind too much. He was still fun, and I'm hoping that next time we can get Gamera. I hope that we see Daimajin riding on Gamera's back into battle, maybe. But yeah, this film was a lot of fun, actually, and they're just so stupid and silly that you can't not like them.
I just want to say, I can confirm Connor was in the watch party with us and watched it for the second time in a day. I can't confirm him being forced to send in a voice message. I don't know. I don't know who would have done that.
Something's sketchy as well because he didn't log it 2 times on Letterboxd.
Yeah, it is sketchy.
Good voice message, Connor. It's
Very
good to hear
good.
your voice.
Very good.
Yeah, for the Great Yokai War, it is funny that there wasn't a huge war.
It was an internal war.
Yeah, it was a vocal war. I have a hot take. I kind of prefer Daimajin being CG.
I did get a bit sick of that green-faced man back in the day.
Well, I think by the end of the third film, like the whole thing about Daimajin originally was that he was a great giant monster kaiju, and you could see his eyes. And you could see where he was looking, and he was looking at people. But after 3 movies, I feel like, I don't know.
Bit too much looking?
A little bit too much looking. You can only get so much wrath with the same set of eyes for 3 movies.
How wild would it have been, though, if it was the Great Yokai War Guardians and then they composite in a suitmation dude
that
to
would
be Daimajin?
Epic.
I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility having Gamera show up in one of these either.
Nah, I fully believe it. And it seems like Takashi is gonna do another sequel. I mean, he's done 2 so far.
He set it up somewhat for Kato to return.
Yeah. Like, there's absolutely room for this guy who loves Daiei's history to continue that trend of bringing beloved Daiei characters back into the big screen.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything can happen. As we now know, watching these Yokai Monsters movies, literally anything can and will happen in these films. But yeah, that's us, guys. Thank you once again for listening to the show. Would really appreciate it if you gave us a review on any podcasting platform, followed us on any socials, Podzilla Pod, either joined our Discord or subscribed to us on Patreon.
Yeah, so next week is our final episode, but on Patreon we do, I mean, I think we talked about it in our last Patreon episode, but we do want to cover the new Kong game.
We are
by the end of the year.
officially covering the new Kong video game, Kong Survivor Instinct, on the Patreon. And
that's canon to the main Monsterverse now. So you kind of have to. You're locked into subscribing to the Patreon.
Yeah, so if you want more content over this break, you can join us over there. Real cheap, $5 or less a month. But yeah, we are back next week. We're talking about anything and everything. We're wrapping up the season. It's going to be really fun. Please, even if you've never sent in email to us before, we'd just love to hear from you. Love to hear what you think of the show. Love to find out a bit about who you are, what you like, your favorite movies. It's just going to be like a cool hangout episode. So yeah, anything at all, fill out the form in the show notes or send us an email.
It can be wacky. It can be genuine. Ask Jasha about his favorite cooking recipes.
Yeah. Ask Micah about his dating life.
All will be revealed.
All will be revealed, but you have to ask the questions. And Connor, dude, you have to freaking send in a voice message. Connor, I swear, man, if you don't send in a voice message, hell to pay. I'm breaking your gable.
Everybody guard your gables tonight.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Good night. Guard your gables. Guard your gables.